Hi everyone, and welcome once again to our series of interviews with West Island artists. As you can see, today we are in a very nice atelier of one of our great artists, Terri McKeown, who's here with me, or more accurately, I'm with her in her workshop. And we'll talk a little bit about her journey, her inspiration, and of course, what are her plans for future. So I'll just turn around the camera and we'll start talking. Hi Terri, and thank you once more for agreeing to talk to my community around our YouTube channel, L'Atelier du Village. And maybe we can just start talking about your journey in art and what brought you. How have you discovered your art inclinations, if you want?
Okay. Hi Roxana, welcome to my creative space. It's in my home, my studio. I started being interested in art at a very, very young age. I would doodle, I would draw all the time. When I was a 10-year-old, I started painting with my mother's helpful guidance. And I still have the first painting I ever did, which is the little abstract beside my stereo.
Very nice colors.
And the second one I did is directly above that, probably around the same time. And
so was your mother an artist as well?
Yes, my mother is an artist as well. I've always been intrigued by paintings, the masters, looking at how they did things, and not that I want to try and copy them, but I just have my expression. I paint completely from my imagination. I rarely use a photograph as a reference. It comes from deep within. And that is my artistic journey. When my kids were little, I used to color and draw with them all the time, and I would dabble in painting in the evenings. And then I put that on hold for a little while because I didn't really have a space to leave my paintings on the go in the open. Once they were older and I had a true space, I got back into painting. And my husband and my two sons encouraged me greatly to continue painting and creating. Before I ever joined an artist association, people would come to my house, family, friends of friends, and say, "Oh, I love that painting, Terri." And I would say, "Okay, it's yours, take it." And I would give away so many paintings that after a while my husband and my son said, "You have to stop, you have to start selling your artwork and joining associations." And that's what I did. I first joined the Kirkland Artist Association because I am a resident of Kirkland. And through meeting people and being introduced to other artists in the West Island community, I was invited to join the Beaconsfield Artists Association.
And that's how we met.
And that is how we met. And it's a wonderful, wonderful association to be part of. And for the last 4 years, I have been the exhibition chair for the association, which I really do enjoy doing. So that's been a significant journey. But what I think the most I've gained from the associations is meeting people, enjoying everybody's approach and creativity, and we learn from each other.
So sharing
ideas, sharing, critique, which I never take as a bad thing. I take as a improvement, exactly. And that's my journey. And recently I was accepted to Lakeshore Artists Association.
Congratulations again.
Is so thrilling for me. And
is it considered as the most prominent association to be part of in the West Island?
That I believe is what I've heard, like what you
That's
hear.
what people and the
tend to
residents
say, yes,
consider it.
yes, and consider it that you're not just a painter, you're a true artist in that respect, I suppose. But I'm just once again happy to be in the company of such wonderful, talented people. And hopefully that will continue my journey to grow and to learn and to fine-tune my skills as well.
Very, very interesting, and thank you so much for sharing this with us. I know you exhibit. Are you still a member of the Kirkland Association?
No, this year for personal reasons, time constraints, I wasn't able to do all three. So
you are at Beaconsfield
and Lakeshore.
Yeah, and maybe you can share with us, because I know they have like a sort of spring and fall exhibitions and late fall exhibitions. Maybe you can, I don't know if you already have that information for this year, but I think it would be interesting for those that are watching us and maybe they are less familiar. Maybe they will learn where they can appreciate your art, where they can see your art in West Island at least.
Certainly. Beaconsfield, we have our spring exhibition is the 5th, 6th, and 7th of April. The 5th is the evening for the vernissage. And
where everyone is invited, because sometimes people think the vernissage is maybe only for the artists, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's for our visiting public, our adoring public, and the artists and other fellow artists who are not part of. And I often do see you come out to support us and come to our exhibitions.
I try to, yes.
This year is actually the 40th anniversary for the Beaconsfield Artists Association.
Congratulations.
They started in 1984, so it's a big year. So we're trying to do some special things throughout the year for the artists. And I can't give away all of our
you keep some
top
surprises.
secret. Yes. And then the following week is the Lakeshore Artists Association's spring exhibition at
so
Fritz
people
Farm.
should be on the lookout at the beginning of April for
back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Yes, which is very exciting. So I'm thrilled, and this will be the first exhibition that I'm participating with Lakeshore, which is very exciting for me personally.
Well, good luck.
So yes,
I'm sure it's going to be a great success.
One thing that I know, I told you that I paint strictly from my imagination, but I'm also self-taught. I have, other than high school art classes, elementary school art classes, I don't have any formal art training. So I guide myself, not teach myself, but learn from my mistakes. And every time I look at something I've finished, I'll see, how could I have improved on that? Oh, well, for the next time. Because once I've signed a piece, I won't go back to it. I won't ever go and retouch it. And I also, for the viewers out there, I like to call my artwork my works of heart.
So nice.
And there is actually a heart in every one of my paintings.
So when people are watching or looking at your art, they are seeing you and your heart in there.
And I believe
or
that
a piece of you.
A piece of me, because I paint from within. I don't paint.
And how do you recharge yourself? I mean, you give so much and you put so much in your paintings. Do you have a, I don't know, people sometimes have a special ritual, you know, like I know you do yoga.
Yes, I do yoga.
Sometimes people listen to music, or I don't know,
I have music
take walks
on,
or...
I have music on all the time. I find it too quiet if I don't have music on when I'm painting. And sometimes my paintings will reflect what I was listening to.
Very nice. So maybe you should write on the back also the music that you're listening to while you painted that. So,
well, I can show you a piece that it's hanging in a room in my house, and it was a piece that I had paint left on my palette, and I hate wasting paint. So I started experimenting on a blank canvas. And I was listening to David Bowie's Sound and Vision. And then I just kept putting more and more paint on my palette and kept going. And I created an abstract, which to me would be what sound would look like.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I can show you that afterwards. So sometimes it really does affect what I'm painting. But most of the time, my joy, I love to paint water. I like to paint the sea. And I think that that's the most relaxing place, the place I like to be. I always feel when I get to the ocean, anywhere it is, on a summer vacation, I feel at home. I feel like, okay, this is my spot. And I like the sound, the smell.
Have you ever tried painting next to an ocean, or?
Yes, I have. And I sketch, and I've painted beside the ocean, at the ocean, and you know, it's kind of interesting because people walking by will always stand behind you and watch what you're doing. And I like to experiment. I tried using oil pastels dipped in seawater to see what that effect would be.
Oh.
And that was a kind of fun...
Did you see any difference, or?
I did. It blended it. The more water I used, it made it sort of... maybe the same way I suppose you would put salt with watercolor and it spreads it. It had the same sort of effect, which was
so
a
the
fun...
chemic reaction.
Yeah,
you
that
can
was
see it.
a fun experiment.
Oh, that's interesting. So you basically, your main medium is oil or?
Acrylic.
Acrylic, okay.
I use acrylic more because I'm more impatient. And I think
so you don't have the patience to wait for the oil to dry, so...
That, and also because I tend to paint from what's going through my brain at the time. If I don't like what time of day or what light or the color of the sky, I'll start over. I'll let it dry. No, I don't like this. Oh, I want more clouds. I want less clouds. And I always start with the sky and work my way down, always. So when I feel impatient, I know that I can just cover the acrylic and go on. So kind of like the Mona Lisa, if you x-rayed some of my paintings, you would find other compositions underneath.
Okay. So besides acrylic, you use, as you said, oils and pastels?
The oil pastel I've used on a painting.
Okay.
Sometimes I will add it to my paintings.
As a mixed media.
Yes. What I have experimented with, and I have a little painting up at the top there, is I added peeled acrylic.
Is it the one in the middle there?
The one with the, next to the one with the little girl in the red dress.
Oh, okay. So this
that
one here.
one.
Yeah.
And what I did was I peeled off. So that's from a palette, and I peeled it off to discover this shiny, wonderful colors and textures. And that's what I finger painted the background, and then I glued this on with some medium for the rocks, for the rocky coast. And that was kind of fun. So I've been saving some, so I think I might like to try and do that on a bigger scale.
Oh, very nice.
That was an experiment, yeah.
Well, I know you want to keep, the new paintings kind of as a surprise for the next exhibitions in Beaconsfield and Lakeshore. But maybe you can show us some other ones and tell us a little bit about their background story, if you want.
That's a good question. Well, I do love anything to do with the sea, the ocean. I love lobster buoys, and I was fortunate enough to be gifted a few lobster buoys. So those were things I had sketched and then painted.
Very nice colors. I love the colorful buoys. Yeah, very nice. So we can see that Terri is a great fan of David Bowie. Well, she mentioned earlier his music, so...
Yes, he's always been my favorite, always.
So you have a nice ad here.
The bottom one here with all the white dots coming at you, that one I was listening to Dark Side of the Moon when I painted that one. So you can see my inspiration from there.
Very nice.
The other one on the top was from a sketch I made, and I changed it completely from the sketch. And that took me a little while because it just didn't seem to be working, and in the end I just said, okay, I'm done, and I'll sign it. And it's Of Two Minds, because I never...
Do you know the name of that?
Of Two Minds.
Of Two Minds?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
do-
see it, I'll tell you right away, because
Yes.
it's the first time that I see it. It looks to me like an explosion, like a heart explosion, and then I see doves coming out of it, like peace, out of the explosion. That's how I see it.
And
But
that painting, all of the little dots, they all have glass beads in them that I added to it. You can't
Wow.
really see it here, but that has glass beads. I like to put in molding paste sometimes, or glass beads. I love rocks.
just
I
to
love
add a 3D dimension to the painting.
yeah, and I love rocks. I love seashells. I collect them. People bring me rocks from special places because I love them so much. So I do. I paint
Yeah.
Inukshooks. The top one here with the pink flowers, that one is called Heather in Bloom. And that one I tried something different. I put molding paste in jabs here and there on the blank canvas. Then I put a certain color palette on my palette, and I just started dabbing until a picture started, a landscape started to appear.
Very nice.
And this you can see is
David
my
Bowie.
pastel version of David Bowie. I think I was 17, 18 when I did that.
And then you showed us the first two paintings
Yes,
under the guidance of your mom.
yes.
Is
And
your mom still painting?
no, my mother is not still painting, but I can show you one of her old paintings I have hanging. And she's always a good critic of my paintings.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
So she still gives
Yes.
you advice?
She'll say
and
to me, oh, this, I like this, you could change this a little bit, so I rely on her advice as
do you
well.
see any similarities between your style?
None.
None?
None,
Okay.
none at all.
Just the talent.
Just I think, yes, I inherited the talent from her. She's very creative, and I tend to be that way too.
You are very.
I like color. I like a lot of color. I don't like anything to be matchy in my environment. It's eclectic sort of environment I live in, yes.
And then up there we can see the lavender fields and the lavender bouquet.
Yes, I grow lavender in my gardens and I love it.
Is that an inspiration from Scotland?
Yes, my father was Scottish. He was from Glasgow. And one day I was thinking about him. He's no longer here. And I was thinking about him, and I painted a thistle. So that is entitled Thinking About a Scot.
Very nice.
And the one beside it is a more abstract thistle in the lakes in Scotland, and you see the...
And the highlands,
Yes.
yeah. Very
Yeah.
nice. Love
So
them.
that's my inspiration for those. And then on this wall you can see is pretty much my inspiration for the sea. The inspiration for
Like
the
we can
sea.
almost hear the waves hitting the shores.
Yes, yes.
Very nice. I love them.
And I like to, I don't, like I said, sometimes I don't have a plan in mind, and then I look at things once I finish them. And I can show you one here which kind of,
Yes.
turned out differently. This painting here on the bottom, I was painting.
Is that the moon?
It's the moon over the starry sky. And I had painted that not long after David Bowie passed away.
Oh,
Okay.
so it was like kind of a tribute to him.
But then a friend pointed out and said, I like how you immortalized his profile and his shoulder in the rocks.
Oh, wow.
And then when she pointed it out, I can never unsee that now. Do you see?
Almost.
Here, a profile of a face.
Very nice. Do you see it?
I do. I see it here.
No, I'm asking the...
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And so I entitled this one, "The Stars Look Very Different Today." And that was one of the names of one of his songs. Because for me, the stars will always look different.
Without him.
Yeah.
So this is your mom's painting?
Yes, this is a painting that my mom did. I don't know the exact year, but it's been a long time ago. She lived and in Edmonton, and she studied in Banff.
Oh, okay.
And so the Rockies were her
inspiration.
Yes, yes.
Very
and
nice.
This is another little painting when I first got back into doing it, a little palette knife painting. So I have never shown this, and I've never put it up for sale because it's just one of the ones that I'd like to keep. And the same with the birch trees underneath. That was a sort of Jackson Pollock moment I had, because I didn't know how to finish it, and I said, okay, I'm going to try this. And it worked out pretty good.
Very nice. I love the colorful leaves.
Yeah.
It looks like a windy day.
That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah?
It's called Whispering Winds.
Oh.
So there, I'm happy that what I was going for.
Exactly. Very nice.
You channeled. And so this is the one I entitled "Sound," A Vision of Sound, when I was listening to Sound and Vision. It started out because I had leftover paint on a palette, and it ended with this.
Very nice.
So sometimes I like to be very realist when I paint, and sometimes I like to just completely let go. And you can see the one beside it is entitled Summer. So I painted that, and it almost looks like a map. And there's, if you zoom in, you can see just by chance an X was created. So X marks the spot where you're going to go.
Very nice.
So that's where it got its name.
Well, thank you so much, Terri.
Thank
Thank you for sharing with us all this journey that you're still on. Is there anything that you are looking forward to? Something new, or are you going to continue on this, let's say, road?
I'm happy to continue on the road I am, and I'm happy to continue to paint the sea and share it. And I'll let people find the heart in my painting.
That's really great. And if people would like to see your works outside, let's say the exhibitions, if people are watching from further away, you have a website that I can share, yeah?
Yes, I have a website, and you can Google Terris Art, and you will get straight to my website.
Thank you. And thank you so much, and good luck with your coming exhibition. Thank you so much, Terri.
Thank you so much, Roxana. My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.